investigation is going on here in Venezuela and in the Caribbean. There has been an important development in a court in Delaware where there have been legal proceedings for at least 8 years. It has been so long that I think lots of outlets have even lost interest. But at Venezuela Analysis, we have kept up. And just last week, there was this decision by the Delaware court, which is a final decision, to sell Citgo to a subsidiary of Vulture Fund Elliott Management. The subsidiary is called Amber Energy. So there's a lot to unpack in this process, and I hope we get to discuss. But in a nutshell, this is also a consequence of economic sanctions that has left Venezuela unable to defend its own interests and to defend its most valuable asset in the US. And the loss of Citgo is not just the loss of an asset worth $13 billion. It's the loss of a key element in the oil ecosystem in the sense that it provided an outlet for Venezuelan oil production. And still, as everything.
So basically, as you can see here, just talking about what actually happened regarding the court-approved auction that took place actually late in 2025, where Amber Energy, who's essentially owned by Paul Singer, who's a mega billionaire hedge fund activist, essentially basically acquired Citgo Petroleum Corp, which is basically the US refinery arm of Venezuela's state oil company. And they basically settled their debt because they was in debt of billions of dollars, settled their debt. And basically now there's an expected closure that's going to really, or the acquisition that's going to take place early this year. So this is essentially marking like a massive shift that's taken place between the US refinery and the brand under the new energy focused leadership. Now, what's interesting here is if you take all of this into consideration, Paul Singer is also a massive donor to Donald Trump. So he donated millions of dollars to Donald Trump's campaign to be able to win elections last year. And basically what's happened now is with the capture of Maduro taking over the country, with obviously the US now essentially taking over the country, this is basically now providing an opportunity for this deal to go through and setting up massive benefits for Citgo to become essentially the jewel of the Venezuela's oil industry and having direct relationships to America. So you see how everything's working hand in hand now, what we're seeing taking place. Also, you have to be aware that the US banned TikTok basically was forced to sell to Larry Ellison and a consortium of investors. So you can see how everything's really tying up, looking for opportunities. And then you see how now with Maduro being captured, this is now providing opportunities for Citgo, the acquisition, to go through, and then for them becoming a massive jewel within Venezuela, with now essentially being controlled by America. And someone like Paul Singer is going to make billions of dollars in this deal. If you like this type of information, we talk about savings, investments, deal related acquisitions. Please like, please subscribe, and we'll give you more information.